Hello there. So I'm currently on a beach. I've had to put the old shades on because it was overcast and now it's not. So these are probably going to come on and off throughout the video. I'm currently on vacation, and this particular area I'm in, it's like a little remote island, and it's a very special place to me, and I felt very nostalgic coming back here. 2015 started off to be the worst year of my life. My mum was very ill. It ended up a pretty good year, but in the beginning it was a really tough year, and coming here was like a real nice break from all of that. First time I actually ever came here was 4 years ago, and so much in my life has changed since then that it's kind of surreal to me. But when I first came here, I was in university. I was studying computer science, which at the time I thought I was going to really enjoy because I always enjoyed like coding websites, but it was all software related, and every semester that went by I hated it more and more. I hated it, and I was so scared because I was spending nearly $40,000 in student loans to get a degree in something that I hated, and I had no idea what I was going to do with it. Don't get me wrong, I've always loved to draw. It's something that I've always enjoyed so much, but it was always something that, like, as a kid, you pick up a bit of paper and you draw. It's like, oh, I like drawing, and then not do it for months. It was when I turned 16 that I started playing this online game. It was called Small Worlds. I don't know if anyone else has played that. And they used to have these little canvas graphic things that you could draw on, and you had like 1,000 strokes before it ran out. It was all digital art. And it sounds so silly now, but it was actually what really got me into art in general. But even then, it was just something I did for fun every so often. It wasn't something that I took overly seriously. It was just something that I did for fun. So I had gone to work part-time at the shop Alter, which is a beauty shop, and I saved up over the course of 11 months just over $1,000. But out of that money, I actually purchased Photoshop when it was, a period of time where you could actually buy Photoshop, not get it as a subscription. So I did that, and I kind of transferred from this game to Photoshop. And even then, as much as I enjoyed digital art and I wanted to get better at it, it was something that I used maybe 8-9 times a year. I would make a lot of fan art for things that I enjoyed, and yeah, literally I would make about 8 or 9 pieces, if that, every single year, because it was just something that I did to just have fun, to keep distracted and keep myself busy, really, because it was pretty much the only thing I felt that I was good at and something I wanted to improve at. But yeah, it was not something that I ever in a million years considered doing as a job. I just enjoyed making fan art on and off throughout the years. So it wasn't something that I ever put a lot of practice into. It was just something that I liked making fan art, and that was basically it. I think as far as it went was that, maybe one day I could get this work licensed and then I could sell prints of it, but never like, this could be a full-time thing. No way, no way. You can't be an artist, you can't get a job as an artist. It's that stereotype that, artists, you can't be an artist. It's not, you go study. So I started my YouTube channel in April of 2014, but it was kind of me talking about, what can I do? I'll do like a hair tutorial. And then I was getting to a point where I was like, I really like this, but I don't enjoy making videos about my hair. There's already people that are doing it way better than me. And I thought, okay, what am I good at? What am I good at in life? And I remember thinking back to this person that I watched. Her name was Jamie Jo, Banana Jemana, and she makes these incredible speed paints. Like, honestly, I've genuinely never seen an artist who makes work as incredible and consistently as she does. And I'd admired her for so long that I was like, okay, well, I could kind of do something like that, I guess, but I'd never done traditional art. It was all digital art that I'd done. So my channel in 2016, it grew more substantially then, and it grew from me showing how to do some art hacks. And it was ridiculously out of the blue. I'd been uploading videos on and off throughout the year, and it was that video that it got 100,000 views in, I think, 5 days, and that had never happened to me before. It was one of those things that for some reason it hit the algorithm for no reason whatsoever, and I went from, I think, 2,000 subscribers up to 10,000 in the span of a couple of weeks, which it was insane, and it was crazy, and what I think is poignant about this is that had it not been for that video, I wouldn't be where I am now. And had for some reason the algorithm not looked down on me that day, I probably would not have been able to grow to where I am. And I know there are people out there that there's these websites that basically criticize a lot of YouTube artists. And I honestly have only been on there a couple of times because I actually have no clue how to navigate their website, first of all. But I've seen a few threads written on there about me. But I was also kind of a bit, I don't know, I guess I got a little bit hurt in a way from it because someone had posted my picture of Dean Winchester, which is to this date still my favourite piece that I've ever made. And it took me 19 hours to make. And then they picked up a screenshot of a piece I made in half an hour for a video that I'd rushed out. And to be fair, it was a terrible piece, and I've taken that video down now because it was embarrassingly bad. But to compare a piece that took 19 hours to a piece that took half an hour, when I spend time on my pieces, I can usually make something that I'm proud of. But there are times when I make things and I don't know how to make things that I don't necessarily spend a lot of time on that aren't as good. And I guess I get really paranoid every time I upload a video where I've drawn something that is not necessarily what I would call my best work, because I know that people are judging me for it. So it's trying to get past that worry of what other people think of me. As much as I would love to spend 19 hours on a drawing in every single video, it's just not feasible for me. So going from something that I would do maybe 6 to 8 times a year, maybe a little bit more, spending 15 to 20 hours on a piece, my work did look a lot better then than it would, say, if you compared it to some of the pieces I do now, where I'm spending an hour or two at the most for each video. So I guess what I'm trying to get out here is I am still capable of what I used to make. I just don't have the time anymore, because I used to do these 20-hour pieces in my free time as a hobby. And I guess now that art is my job, my hobbies have changed. So when I'm spending time on art in a video, I kind of want to do a hobby that's slightly different to art, I suppose. So in 2015, that's actually when I made this Dean piece, and I spent so long on it because what was happening in my life at that time was really difficult. And I actually can't talk about this time in my life very easily. I think I've still failed to kind of process it fully in my mind. My mum had a brain tumour, and it was very difficult, as I'm sure you can imagine. It was so difficult for me because I didn't know how to handle it, and I was so sad. And when it was happening, I went numb, and it wasn't till afterwards that it really, really hit me what had happened, because I tried so hard to just shut it out and pretend it wasn't happening. Which is why I think now when I talk about it, it's really difficult for me, because I've still not fully, I guess, accepted that. My mum is fine now, thank God. And touch wood, there's no wood, well there's some wood down here, even though her health isn't the best. But I made this Dean piece in 2015 because it was the only thing that brought me joy, the only thing that brought me happiness, and the only thing that kept my mind busy, because I couldn't handle all of these emotions my mind had. So it was the only thing that could shut it up, the only thing that could keep me distracted, and the only thing that could keep me from being upset and from being sad. I honestly lost so much of myself that year. So pouring so much of myself into that piece was so important to me, which is why I spent so long on it, I think, because it was just being able to keep distracted and keep busy for that long. So that's why this piece will always be so important to me. It's more than just a character from a TV show for me. It's something that I'm so proud of. So 2 years ago, I sat in my bedroom and I made a video about why I didn't go to art school. That video is quite a poignant moment in my life, because 2 years ago, nearly to the day, I was doing YouTube, but it wasn't at a point where it was sustainable enough for me to make barely even a part-time wage from. So I was still studying computer science, hating it more and more, doing YouTube, enjoying YouTube, but not being able to really make a job out of it at the time. But yeah, it was 2017 that I made that video where I was like, hey, I don't know what to do with my life. What do I do? And what's funny is after I uploaded that video, I got a really long email from a woman named Robin, who told me she was 43 years old and she went into a job that she went into with a head, not a heart. And she told me to try so hard to keep at what I was doing for 3 years and then email her in 3 years to see what had changed for me. And that was 2 years ago. And when I made this video not long after, I actually applied for a job in a place down the road from me. It was some quilting factory or something, making something or other. And I did not want to do it, but I was like, it's the closest I'm going to get to doing anything good. At least it's a job, at least it's a wage coming in. My mum was like, you know what, it's not really a job you want. She said, it's your life, but know that with your dad and I, you always have a home here. We will always support you. And I've been very lucky in that I have such supportive parents that no matter what I decided to do with my life, I knew they would always be there to be able to support me and to help me. And I know that a lot of people don't have that luxury. So I'm incredibly fortunate for that. I have the most wonderful parents in the world. And my mum, she was just like, you know, again, it's your life, but I think you should keep at YouTube. I think you should keep at doing this, follow your heart. You know, you've got a degree now, at worst case you can fall back on it. If it wasn't for my mum, I don't think I would have kept at it, because I would have been too worried about the practicalities and the risks. Keep up with the computer science because it's guaranteed a job. So I never went out of my way to become an artist. I never went out of my way to try to be an artist, to get a job in art. It wasn't something I ever thought that I could do, but I was so lucky that this did turn into a job for me, and I'm so grateful for that. And I'm so overwhelmingly happy that I'm able to do this, and I've met so many incredible people through it because of it.
Hello, I'm going to interrupt really quickly. I'm editing this video at the moment and realised I didn't sort of actually talk about one of the main purposes of this video. Because I never planned on becoming an artist, I didn't plan to do it as a job, so I didn't learn a lot of the fundamentals that you kind of need to learn when you're becoming an artist. So I learned them quite late. Like, for example, I only learned what gesso was a couple of years ago. There was a lot of stuff that I didn't know about, and even now I'm still learning a lot of stuff in regards to art and being an artist in general, because I never went out of my way to learn it or surround myself with stuff like that, because it was literally just a hobby for me. It wasn't something that I took seriously. So because of that, I kind of felt behind a lot of other artists, because when I did become an artist full time, it was kind of like, okay, well, I need to learn a lot more fundamentals that I didn't know about before, because I was only doing this for fun before, and now it's more serious. Now people are taking me seriously, taking my art seriously. I need to learn more. I need to learn better. I need to get better. So kind of what you've witnessed me doing over the past couple of years has been me learning myself from scratch. So yeah, that's what I wanted to say.
But I guess my point here is I really would love to go back to making more pieces that took me longer, and I've kind of been doing that behind the scenes, not necessarily showing it on camera, because I find painting on camera is very stressful. You're constantly like, oh, my battery's gonna die, oh, people are gonna be judging me for how this looks. Try not to spend too long on it, because filming my art has taken the enjoyment out of art for me. So what I used to spend so long doing, I don't anymore, because it took the enjoyment away from me. I want to thank all of you as well, because if it weren't for any of you, I would not be doing any of this. And it's because of you that this is even a thing for me. So what I want to say to all of you is, do believe in yourself. Don't settle for anything less than you deserve. Keep making things, keep doing what makes you happy, and don't give up, because life can change so quickly. You know, when I was sat on this beach all those years ago, never in my wildest dreams did I think this would happen for me, and it did, and I am so grateful for it. I'm so incredibly grateful for it, and I'm so grateful for you. So no, I did not want to become an artist. It's not because I hated it, and it's not because I didn't like the idea of it. It's just not something that ever crossed my mind. I didn't want to be an artist because I didn't think I could be an artist. And I could. So if that's what you want to do with life, keep at it. Keep believing that you can do it. Keep doing everything you can. Keep doing research. I think I've covered everything. I really hope I have. thank you so incredibly much for watching this video. I hope that you enjoyed it. I really like sitting down doing this. I'm not sure if all of you watched till the end, but I hope that you did. Leave a comment below to let me know what your dreams are and what you'd like to do with your life. I promise you, if you keep at it, you are going to get so much further than if you don't try it all. So thank you so much for watching this video. I hope that you enjoyed it. Take care of yourselves, and I will see you in the next video.